this is, I'm sorry to say, it doesn't surprise me, given everything that I've seen about this sector, the way in which it's so poorly regulated, the way in which we've allowed corporatisation to erode the quality of the workforce and everything else. We just keep sounding the alarm and the government's not doing what it needs to do.
What are the structural changes that are needed to try to provide protection against alleged offenders who may be able to reach a large number of children? When we look at several of these cases, there are such long lists of childcare centres that some individuals worked at.
It's a real warning sign. And I think what we found in our inquiry and in the work that we did with Four Corners was it's a red flag when somebody is moving from centre to centre. We've seen a proliferation in recent years of casual educators moving from centre to centre, and we've seen some other high-profile cases where we've had labour hire agencies involved in, the hiring and deployment of some of these now convicted ex-offenders. But ultimately, we talk a lot about how we catch these people afterwards, but we don't talk enough about how we prevent them being able to get there in the first place. What frustrates me is that, the sector has been telling us so clearly what we need to do is to ensure that we have not just adequate, but really good staffing and really great professional workforces in these centres. And we talk a lot about what makes a bad centre, but when we look at the thousands of really good centres across Australia, what they have in common is these kind of long-term, consistent groups of people, of employees who work at those centres. They all know each other, they're well-resourced, they're never alone with a child because there's always more than one of them on the floor. That's what keeps children safe, because you cannot commit these sorts of crimes in front of your co-worker. But instead of focusing on really bolstering the workforce, government's kind of trying to put form above substance and talk only about issues of how we catch them afterwards, which, although important, it's just not as good as preventing it from happening in the first place. It's the fault of the system, the way it's been designed, and the way we've allowed these kind of big corporates to come in and erode the quality of services. The sector is still very broken. If we want to take this seriously, we need to listen and do some real reform.